Today's episode brings together Ford and Geely talks and a planned European factory, BMW's defense of subscription services, and resumption of i3 production in Munich, plus growing Canadian support for Chinese electric vehicles. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, BMW has been defending its move into subscription services for vehicle features and functions. Company spokespeople say subscriptions give customers flexibility and additional choices beyond the traditional one-time purchase model, and they argue the approach helps deliver ongoing software updates and optional features over the life of a vehicle. Critics have raised questions about ownership and long-term costs, but BMW's position frames subscriptions as an evolution in how customers manage personalization, connectivity, and convenience in increasingly software-defined cars. This debate about subscriptions matters because it touches the broader shift in the industry from hardware-first to software-first thinking. For automakers, recurring revenue from subscriptions can stabilize earnings between vehicle sales cycles and fund continuous improvement of digital services. For buyers, it creates new decisions, which features they want now, which they might add later, and how they weigh upfront purchase cost against ongoing access fees. Expect regulators, consumer groups, and competitors to keep this conversation active as more brands roll out their own subscription programs. Moving from services to hardware, BMW is also restarting production of the i3 in Munich. The decision to place i3 production in Munich underscores BMW's continued commitment to electric vehicles and to keeping a portion of EV manufacturing anchored in Germany. Bringing the i3 back into production can help BMW manage domestic supply chains and meet demand in markets where the model still resonates. Reintroducing the i3 in Munich also has symbolic weight. It connects BMW's EV future to the company's historic manufacturing base while signaling to suppliers and employees that electric models are part of long-term plans. For customers, locally produced EVs may carry expectations of quality and after-sales support consistent with BMW's premium positioning. The move will be watched closely for what it reveals about production capacity, supplier sourcing, and how legacy factories are being adapted for the electric era. Next, a poll in Canada indicates rising support for the arrival of more Chinese electric vehicles in the Canadian market. Respondents showed increasing openness to Chinese EV brands, driven in part by competitive pricing and the rapid product development cycles of manufacturers based in China. This trend points to changing perceptions among Canadian consumers, who historically have preferred established Western, American, or Japanese brands. For the broader North American market, greater acceptance of Chinese EVs could reshape competition, pushing incumbents to accelerate product refreshes, rethink pricing, and strengthen their value propositions. Importantly, Canadian openness may serve as a bellwether for other markets where regulatory frameworks and trade relationships differ and where consumer trust in newer brands is still being built. Automakers and dealers will need to consider how to communicate quality, warranty, and service plans as new entrants seek to expand beyond their home market. Now let's shift to Europe, where Ford and Geely have announced plans to build a factory together. The proposed European facility signals a tangible step in a growing industrial relationship between the two automakers, and it could reshape local supply chains, logistics, and supplier networks across the continent. A new plant in Europe would also be aimed at meeting regional demand for electric vehicles and could influence how parts and components are sourced and standardized. Building a factory is more than bricks and machines. It's about long-term industrial strategy. For local suppliers, a new plant can create opportunities for contracts and joint development projects, but it can also introduce pressure to meet different technical standards or to scale capacity quickly. For the region, the factory could mean jobs and investment, and for competitors, it represents an intensification of manufacturing capacity aimed at a market that remains central to global EV ambitions. Before we get to our final and most followed story, a quick note. If you find this coverage useful, please like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you. Finally, the most prominent item today. Ford and Geely are in talks over a broader EV partnership. These discussions could have major implications for electric vehicle strategies on both sides of the globe, touching on technology sharing, platform collaboration, or market access that would accelerate development timelines and reduce costs. While details remain under discussion, the prospect of a strategic tie-up between a major American automaker and a leading Chinese-backed company has industry watchers focused on what it could mean for competition and cross-border cooperation. An alliance between Ford and Geely could allow each company to leverage strengths, whether that's manufacturing scale, software expertise, or access to different regional markets, while spreading investment risk across shared programs. That potential for scale and shared development is especially relevant for EVs, where battery sourcing, platform architecture, and software ecosystems drive costs. At the same time, such a partnership would need to navigate regulatory environments, national security considerations, and differing market expectations in North America and Asia. The talks are also a reminder that the global auto industry is becoming ever more interconnected. Alliances, joint ventures, and cross-border investments are likely to shape who leads in EV technology and who competes on price, features, and networked services. For consumers, the outcome could mean faster rollouts of new models and potentially more choice. For companies, it will be a test of managing collaboration without sacrificing brand identity or strategic autonomy. That's all for today. Thank you and see you tomorrow.